Ever stare at a brand new credit card, itching to use it, but clueless on how to activate it? Yeah, that frustration is real. You just got approved for a shiny new Capital One card, maybe for that dream vacation or that long-awaited gadget, and now it's just sitting there, mocking you with its plastic potential. But fear not, fellow consumer, because activating your Capital One card is actually a breeze. In today's video, we're going to ditch the confusion and walk you through the entire activation process, step by step. By the end of this, your card will be ready to rumble and you'll be one swipe closer to that sweet purchase. Now, there are two main types of Capital One cards, credit cards and debit cards. While the activation process is similar for both, there might be slight variations. So, to make things clear, let's quickly identify which card you're dealing with. If your card has a Visa or MasterCard logo, and it's linked to a checking account, then that's a debit card. If it doesn't have those logos and seems designed specifically for credit purchases, then it's a credit card. Easy, right? Alright, with that card type identified, let's dive into the activation process. Activating your Capital One credit card. For credit cards, you have two main options for activation, online and by phone. Online activation. Capital One website or mobile app. This is probably the quickest and most convenient way to activate your card. Head over to the Capital One website, https://locations.capitalone.com, or download their mobile app. Search for Capital One Mobile in your app store. Sign in or enroll. If you already have a Capital One account, simply sign in using your existing login credentials. If you're new to Capital One, you'll need to enroll for online banking. The enrollment process is usually straightforward and only takes a few minutes. Find the activation option. Once you're logged in, look for a section related to account management or card services. It might be labeled Activate Card or Manage My Cards. Enter your card details. When you find the activation section, you'll be prompted to enter some information from your new card. This typically includes your card number, expiration date, and the security code located on the back of the card, the 3-digit number. Follow the prompts. The Capital One website or app will guide you through the rest of the activation process. This might involve setting up a PIN for future use or creating security questions for your account. Activation confirmation. Once you've completed all the steps, you'll receive a confirmation message letting you know your card is active and ready to use. Phone activation. If you're not a fan of online stuff, you can also activate your Capital One credit card by phone. The number to call will likely be printed on the materials that came with your new card. However, if you misplaced those papers, you can find the general Capital One customer service number on their website, https://locations.capitalone.com. Activating your Capital One debit card. The activation process for Capital One debit cards is very similar to credit cards, with a few minor tweaks. Online or mobile app. Just like with credit cards, you can activate your debit card through the Capital One website or mobile app. The steps involved are largely the same as we discussed earlier. Linked account. Since debit cards are tied to your checking account, the activation process might involve selecting the specific checking account your card is linked to. PIN setup. During debit card activation, you'll most likely be prompted to set up a 4-digit PIN for using your card at ATMs or for making chip and PIN purchases. Additional tips. Have your card details handy. Before you start the activation process, make sure you have your new card's number, expiration date, and security code readily available. Double-check information. Typos happen, so take a moment to double-check all the information you enter during activation to avoid any delays. Activate promptly. It's best to activate your card as soon as you receive it to ensure its security and avoid any potential issues. Capital One resources. If you run into any problems during activation, don't hesitate to reach out to Capital One's customer service for assistance.